All right, we are live. And bear with me, everybody, because I am going to get my Amazon stream going. And I bought this kind of on a whim the other day because my screen has been filthy and I can't get it clean. So let me go live here on Amazon. We'll figure this out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so my screen on my fancy MacBook Pro is a disaster. It is filthy. It is really, look all that, look how bad that is. Part of the problem is that I bring this thing with me everywhere. And so it just gets accumulated with dirt and grime. And so I went on Amazon looking for a solution to this problem, and it looks like Whoosh is the solution. They say, I bought this, by the way, with my own funds. They say that Whoosh is what Apple uses in their environment. So we will see if that is the case here. And just bear with me while I get my Wi-Fi connected up here. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. And I'm not seeing any viewers on the live stream, which makes me wonder if I forgot to set this to public. And we'll just give me a second here to get situated. Or people just aren't interested in a screen cleaner. Nope, I'm unlisted, that's why. All right, hang on a second, everybody. Let's go to public and save. Yes, this will be a good test run for this, for this stuff, to see how it works. And I think what I might do, actually, while I am waiting for people to come in, is I will shoot my intro. I may make a little extras channel video about this, so we'll go from there. All right, so let me just do a little recording, and then we'll try to clean my screen with this and see how it works. Then I have to go, I think I have to pick up my kids today at school, so it's been a very disruptive week. You know, the kids are back in school, so everything is like back to crazy. So I missed the summer already. All right, so this is called Whoosh 2.0. And we're going to clean this filthy screen. Look how filthy this screen is. It's disgusting. All right, let's see what we've got here. Are people finding us now? Yes, 14 have found us. Perfect. William Wilkinson found me. So there you go. So we are ready to commence activities here. All right, so what I'm going to do first is shoot a little intro. And Joe Tyson made it in, as did Crab Donkey and Tristan. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to shoot a little intro here, and then we'll kick off the video. I mean, it's embarrassing how awful this computer looks. All right, so we're going to shoot a video. So I'm going to record a video while we do all this stuff. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking a look today at something that I hope will clean my screen on my Mac here. Look how filthy this is. It's embarrassing. I was looking around on Amazon and I found this stuff called Whoosh 2.0. I did open the box just to see what was inside, but this stuff is what they say Apple uses to clean computers at the Apple Store. So we'll see if it can clean my MacBook display here, and I've got a few other things I may want to clean with this as well. And we're going to take a closer look and see if this tech hygiene is going to solve my problem. And I do want to let you know in the intro, okay, I'm going to cut it at my problem. I bit my tongue, hang on. Sometimes I can't get the words out right. So we're going to do the intro part here. And let me play this back real quick and make sure it works. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking a look today at something that I hope will clean my screen on my Mac here. Look how filthy this is. It's embarrassing. I was looking around on Amazon and I found this stuff called Whoosh 2.0. I did open the box just to see what was inside, but this stuff is what they say Apple uses to clean computers at the Apple Store. So we'll see if it can clean my MacBook display here, and I've got a few other things I may want to clean with this as well. And we're going to take a closer look and see if this tech hygiene is going to solve my problem. And I do want to let you know in the intro, there we go. All right, so we'll start it off here. 3, 2, 1. And I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that I paid for this with my own funds. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this review, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what is inside the box, and then we'll see if this stuff can clean my MacBook screen. Now, I guess they sell this in a couple of different configurations. I bought like the starter kit here. And apparently they now have a refill kit, so you don't have to toss the bottle out when you're done. The instructions look pretty straightforward. You power down your TV set in this case, or your computer, and you wait for the device to cool off. We'll kind of skip through that part. We'll use a dry microfiber cloth to remove the dust from the screen, and then we'll spray the Whoosh on a cloth that is inside the box 2 to 3 times, and then wipe the screen down and then polish it off with the dry side of the microfiber cloth that they include in the box. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. We've got our instruction sheet, which largely mirrors what we just read on the side of the box here. This is an orange microfiber cloth that you use for the actual cleaning. And they say it doesn't matter what side of the cloth you use. So there you go. Actually, it looks like there's 2 of them in here. So this is like the little smaller version. Yeah, it's the same thing. So this I might wipe down the screen with, and then we'll clean it with the larger one here. So let me go and give you my overhead. I'm going to try to clean the keyboard on this thing too. What happens with this computer is that I often set it up on my little counter in the kitchen where I sit in the morning, and I think the stuff from the stove gets kind of on the screen and keyboard and greases it up a little bit more. So this is a smaller thing that you might use on a phone or something like that. And then the business end here is the pump and the bottle, and apparently this one comes pre-mixed, but they sell these refills where you get a little bottle of concentrate and then you mix it with some distilled water, which they recommend for the best results. So let me get this thing put together here, and we'll clean off my screen and see if this stuff works. All right. In case you're wondering, I'm shooting a video while I record here, so let me just go and see how this came out. So I'm just going to play this back while I get configured here, so bear with me. 3, 2, 1. And I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that I paid for this with my own funds. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this review, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. Does not smell, so just be aware of that. It doesn't smell chemically. I'm not sure what's in it. It's like cloudy. It's got like some cloud to it. So you don't want to drink this stuff. It kind of looks like lemonade, but I don't think it's something you want to drink. So be aware of that. I'm going to keep playing this back here, and we'll pick it up in a minute. So let's get into it now and see what is inside the box, and then we'll see if this stuff can clean my MacBook screen. Now, I guess they sell this in a couple of different configurations. I bought like the starter kit here. And apparently they now have a refill kit, so you don't have to toss the bottle out when you're done. The instructions look pretty straightforward. You power down your TV set in this case, or your computer, and you wait for the device to cool off. We'll kind of skip through that part. We'll use a dry microfiber cloth to remove the dust from the screen, and then we'll spray the Whoosh on a cloth that is inside the box 2 to 3 times, and then wipe the screen down and then polish it off with the dry side of the microfiber cloth that they include in the box. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. We've got our instruction sheet, which largely mirrors what we just read on the side of the box here. This is an orange microfiber cloth that you use for the actual cleaning. And they say it doesn't matter what side of the cloth you use. So there you go. Actually, it looks like there's 2 of them in here. So this is like the little smaller version. Yeah, it's the same thing. So this I might wipe down the screen with, and then we'll clean it with the larger one here. So let me go and give you my overhead. I'm going to try to clean the keyboard on this thing too. What happens with this computer is that I often set it up on my little counter in the kitchen where I sit in the morning, and I think the stuff from the stove gets kind of on the screen and keyboard and greases it up a little bit more. So this is a smaller thing that you might use on a phone or something like that. And then the business end here is the pump and the bottle. And apparently this one comes pre-mixed, but they sell these refills where you get a little bottle of concentrate and then you mix it with some distilled water, which they recommend for the best results. So let me get this thing put together here, and we'll clean off my screen and see if this stuff works. All right, I can live with that. I'll take some questions here before we get too much further. DK Savage is exactly. Yeah, I just made it this way for testing purposes. And I'm not going to taste it, so don't worry about that. And James says his screens are always dirty. Yeah, and they don't tell you what's in this stuff. On the Amazon listing, if you click through, you'll see the guy's picture. So he's some kind of chemist that came up with a formula of something. What they do say is that it is, hopefully it doesn't leak here, for all screens, no matter what they are, ammonia and alcohol free. Because the Windex can like eat at the coating, right? And then it's got looks like French. So they probably sell this in Canada where you have to have dual language. I've tried using microfiber with water, and it gets all streaky, so it's never been all that great. The echo is because I had my microphone on when I was playing stuff back, so that was not on the recording. Let's see what we got here. And we'll take a few more questions here. But yeah, the Windex, because these screens have like a very custom, they have all this fancy coating on them that's supposed to prevent this stuff from getting caked on in the first place. But yeah, Windex has alcohol. Windex has, I don't know if it has alcohol, but it does have ammonia, which can be pretty bad. So the way I look at it, if you got a Mac, you've got a lot of stuff on here that can be pretty nasty. I haven't tried vinegar and water mixtures, so I should look into that. And we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to do what they say to do first, which is to wipe the screen down. So let me see where I left off. I'm trying to make a video here while I do this. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the main channel or on the extras channel. I have more traveling coming up, so I'm trying to load up the schedule with some quick hits that I can do in between some of the longer ones. So yeah, okay, so let's take it from here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to start off by doing what they instruct, which is to get the dust and some of the loose particles off the screen here. So I'm just going to use this cloth to get that off of here. And as you can see, a lot of this is like caked on stuff. And I'm guessing we're going to have to really scrub away here a little bit when we get going. And now what I'm going to do is spray this onto the microfiber cloth. You don't want to spray it directly on the computer. And what I'm going to do is kind of go back a little bit here so I don't get it on the computer with some ricochets here. So we'll just spray it off. It kind of sprays like Windex, nothing crazy here. So I've got my 2 or 3 sprays now once I got the pump primed here. So it's definitely a bit wet. It does come through. I can feel the moisture on the other side of the cloth. So you may want to do it on one portion of the cloth and dry off with another. And what I'll do now is just kind of get this stuff onto the screen. And it looks like it's getting this stuff off pretty good here, actually. I'm pretty surprised. And then we'll do the other side and just kind of polish it off a bit. But so far, so good. And it looks like it's evaporating away pretty quickly. So it doesn't have alcohol on it, but it's definitely, whatever they're using evaporates pretty quick. And going with the dry portion of the cloth here, again, it's hard to see it on camera, so I may try to give you my overhead view here, maybe give you a better look at it. It does appear to be getting this stuff off pretty good. I do have a little bit of a haze on the screen here, but I think if I do another spritz and another spray here, it might do okay. But it's certainly looking a lot better than it did before. I'll give you the other look at it here. And all that stuff is gone. It certainly looks a lot clearer. And I think what I'm going to do is give it one more spritz, and then we'll see how it looks when I'm done with that. All right, so let's see. This is probably going to be an extras channel, unless you think this might be good for some other stuff. We'll see. All right, so this is going to be, this actually is working pretty good. I shouldn't say I'm surprised because like the reviews on this were pretty strong and they were like legit reviews, so. All right, so let's put that in there. But so far, so good here. All right. And I don't know if it was visible to you all about how it was getting the stuff off. Oh, great. Well, I have the MacBook Pro. I shouldn't use this. Do not use this on XDR screen like the M1 MacBook Pro. That's what I have. I have the XDR screen. Did I just screw up my screen? Let's see. So what do you clean it with? Whoosh XD. Let's see what they're saying about that. PSA: don't use Whoosh Screen Shine wipes, which is different. The wet cloth liquid is good for phone or tablet, but not good for Pro. It leaves a streak behind. Okay. Yeah, so there's a bit of a discussion here on this channel, or on Mac Rumors, about it. The wipe version. Okay, so the wipe, I guess they sell wipes that are for the phone. Don't use the wipes, but what we're using here should be okay. I hope. All right. It looks a lot better, though. And MR2686 has been using it for about 4 months, and so far, so good. You know what's great? Whenever I do anything like this, I always get people who have experience with the product. So I'm experiencing this for the first time. And Kale has been using it for a couple of years now. It's fantastic. And Frank Mula joins the chorus about not using a Windex on a PC monitor. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I'm going to do another spritz. I'm not going to record this one. We're going to do one more spritz and just get some of the edges off, but it looks really good. I just got to figure out a way to get the... And I didn't use all that much. I mean, 2 or 3 spritzes here seems like enough. But it looks so much better. Because, you know, I've always wondered, like, how does Apple get these screens so clean when I get my... So my old MacBook Pro went in for repair at least, I don't know, like a half a dozen times. And not that many, but between my wife's computer and mine, this is the old keyboards that were lousy, you know, the 2016 era. And so the computers would be going into service a little bit more perhaps than any of my other Macs had gone in. And they would always come back like pristine. It was almost like they sent me a new computer, and I was always curious how they get them so clean. So this is definitely looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, this is nice. I got to call the guy I used to work with at my old job. We used to have this stuff that he used to clean some of the keyboards and screens with. It was really good, but this is great. Yeah, I'm still seeing like a few specks here and there. So I could probably like do a little fine tuning here and get that off, but it's a lot better than it was before. Oh my goodness. I think I have to clean my screen that I'm using to look at this because it's a lot better. Let's see what you all are saying here. So Londog says, when you first showed us the screen, it looked like it had fingerprint marks and other smears, and that we could see in the reflection after the cleaning process, the reflection. Yeah, so I guess it is true. It kind of looks good. BB Garnett says, how can you tell if the review is legitimate? I tend to look at the person's review history and how they're describing things. Some of the folks that are getting paid to do reviews or fake reviews tend to not put any detail in. So, I mean, it's not an exact science, unfortunately. And Holly Terminator says that this has been their go-to for years. And I think this is like 18 bucks for the big bottle. And this will last a while because you only need a couple of spritzes before it's effective. And Drive-By has been using Whoosh 1.0 and no issues with the first bottle. So I think it's going to last quite a long time. And this is what we're going to explore next, Anthony, is the keyboard side of things. So yeah, it left a little bit of a film, and then once I did like that second run, it did a little better, for sure. All right, so let us... Yeah, there's times when all 5 stars is a red flag. What I like to do is go in and look at like the 3s and the 2s in that mix to see what the breakdown is. But sometimes things just work, so sometimes there's actually like really good products out there. This could be one of them, where it's like, oh, it kind of works as advertised. Yeah, I think it's pretty good here. Let's do, let's pick it up from, yeah, so this is the before. Here, I'll give you the look of before, and that's the after. So what I'll do is I will take a still shot of this frame, do one, and then I'll intermix it with, all right, so we're going to start on, that's the difference there. So let me go back 1 or 2 frames here, because I can take a still frame of this, and I'll throw this on the desktop here. And I'll add this as a little B-roll clip. And eventually you have to clean the cloth. So the cloth is going to require some washing, and there's some instructions for that. All right, so this is the before, and this is the now. That's pretty good. Now granted, the screen was a little dimmer, but get kind of at the same angle here. I think what I could do is like do look a little like one of those. That might work better. Okay. Well, I'm impressed with it. I think it works pretty nicely. Well, that's a good question. I don't know how long it can last, although it seems like from what Drive-By said, he's had it for 2 years and it still works. And Hector likes iClear better. So I'll have to try that one next. All it takes for me is about a week or 2, and then it gets worse. I've got a few other screens to clean in a second, too, so we'll take a look and see how it does with some other stuff. All right, so let me go and see where I left off on the last clip. Okay, so there we go. Oops, let me go do this. Oops, there we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I did 2 cycles here of cleaning the screen, and I have to say it looks really, really good. There's a couple of little spots that I might have to scrub a little bit better, but this is what it looks like now, and this is what it looked like before. So I think it is working as advertised, and the screen here is looking a heck of a lot better. What I want to look at next, though, is the keyboard and whether or not I can get some of this greasy, icky stuff off of my keyboard here. So let's take another application and see what it'll do on plastic. All right. I should have just kept going, but let me just record that part here or log that clip there. And Whoosh 2, 4, before and after. So yeah, I think it's working pretty good. I mean, the screen is it's night and day looking at it. That's a great idea, Trent. We need to have a whoosh. That would be very much on brand for them. Maybe I'll have them sponsor me and give me a sound effect. And Trent, good to see you, my friend. I haven't been on the air lately, although I did run into my town's emergency management person yesterday, and I guess they participate in the local ARESnet from the operations center every Monday night. So I'm going to probably head down there and help them out with that every once in a while. All right. So let's repeat the process now on the keyboard. And I think I left off on me on that last clip. Let's see. All right, yep, so we're going to, oh, we can end up starting the keyboard. Okay, good. So we'll start here. And yeah, so the only thing I can see is that they're saying they want you to use a dry portion of the cloth for the wipe down part, but the stuff goes through the cloth. So it feels wet on the back. I'll do it on this angle. Three, two, one. All right, so we're going to do another couple of spritzes here on the cloth, and what we'll do is just wipe down the keyboard here and see how we end up. And I'll just kind of go back and forth here a little bit, and then I will use the other side to dry things out. The one thing I'm noticing on the cloth is that the back of it gets equally wet. It goes through it, so it absorbs through. So that's just one thing to keep in mind there. And I'm not seeing as much progress here. Let me get out the the other one here. I might have to like actually push these keys down to get them clean, but as you can see here, the space bar is still looking pretty nasty. So let me give it a little bit more of a heartier scrub there. So yeah, a little bit better, but it's not doing much on the keyboard grease here. What I'm going to do is shut this computer down for a second and really get into the keys by pushing things down a little harder and see if that might result in a better result here. Stand by. All right, so I'm going to turn you guys off here. I'm going to boot up my, my chat on another thing here. Let me just run over to my main computer. Good news is I'm not using too many system resources today, so I can still pull your stuff up. Every says spit and shirt. There you go. That'll work. I tend to have a little too much dark chocolate throughout the day, so that kills it. Yeah, oily hands will definitely do that. Can I lock the keyboard buttons while you clean? I don't think I can do that on this Mac. I'm sure there's a utility out there that does it, but I'm just going to do a quick shutdown here. Yeah, and I think alcohol might be a better choice on the plastics. I don't think it has any kind of coating, right, that would preclude that. It might do okay on the metal portions here, like the trackpad and that sort of thing, but not, oh. So guess what? You push a key on this thing, it reboots. You can't turn it off. Hang on a second. We'll just have to go for it. Let me shut this down real quick. I kid you not, I just touched the trackpad. Why have a power button if everything turns it back on, right? Okay, so let's get the... All right, give it another good spritz here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to go to town on this keyboard here and give it a little bit more pressure. What I'm finding with this Mac sometimes is that it turns itself on even if you don't push the power button like I did just now. So I've got a short window here before these keys start registering. But we'll give that a good wipe there. It's looking a little better, but still not perfect. I think it is pretty nice on the metal here, but if I look at the keyboard itself, we still have a lot of the grease that we had on there before. So I'll definitely need to entertain some suggestions for getting these keys situated. Maybe alcohol or something might work better on these keys than they would on the screen itself, but this is definitely not clearing up the keyboard. But this is advertised as a screen cleaner, not a keyboard cleaner, so I think we'll need something a little different for the keyboard. All right. They feel cleaner, but they're not clean. Right? So there you go. But see, when I send these things to Apple, like they come back like really nice and clean. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Okay, so let me close this out here real quick. I don't think I've rebooted this computer in a while here, so. All right, I'll go back to my. And it could be that too, View, right? Maybe I wore the surfaces down. But the trackpad definitely feels nice. But yeah, the keyboard here is not functional. So, all right, well, good news is my screen is clean, and that was kind of the mission, but we'll keep it, make people aware of it. Now, I've got my, you want to talk about dirty? Look at this one. This is my daughter's iPad. This is a plastic screen protector over this, so it's all scratched up, so we're not going to see a lot of improvement there. But she's got all sorts of stuff mushed into this. And I think what I'm going to do is put up like a black screen on here. Yeah, I think this is probably more worn in. That's probably the case. I type a lot, although I thought we could get it a little cleaner. But it's always good to set expectations because maybe Apple, well, I know Apple gave me a new keyboard on at least 2 occasions on my last one. So, all All right, let me just pull up a black screen here on my... I love how like you can go on Google and search for black screen and then get exactly that. So here's what we're looking at. And I've got like 30 minutes before I got to go pick the kids up. Excuse me. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now, there's a lot of scratches on here, and these are all like on the screen protector. So is this iPad for school use? So they use Chromebooks in school. And so this iPad is mostly what she uses to play her stuff on and watch their YouTube. It's kind of like their, when I used to go home, I used to watch cartoons on TV. They just watch YouTube Kids under supervision, of course. All right, so let's see where I left off on my clip here. Part one. I'll piece this video together later. So I might go down to the Space Center again. The 27th is the new date. And I think I might, I already booked a flight. We'll see if I can always back out of it, but I really wanted to see this thing launch now. So I have press credentials for the SLS 321. Okay, so now we're going to switch to this view. We'll just kind of repeat the process. Yeah, she could probably use a new screen protector. The good news is, so what happened was, they had like these refurbished iPad minis before, and my oldest, so my little ones only had this iPad, but my big one had an iPad mini, and I bought it refurbished for like, you know, whatever the refurbished price was. And the case was like 2 or 3 days delayed, but I thought, what could happen in 2 days, right? So she had it for a kitchen for a day, and the screen cracked. Ugh. And you really can't fix the iPad. Like the iPads, they don't fix them anymore. So these cases have been great. There used to be a stand on the back of this. I forgot. Oh, this is called a SUP case, S-U-P-C-A-S-E. And these kids have, I mean, these iPads have been through a lot. And I guarantee you, if I took the iPad out, it would look pristine. Like the screen, they've dropped this. They drop these things at least once or twice a week on concrete out in the garage with these cases on. Never cracked them. I had one of those, whatchamacallit cases, OtterBox case for the iPad mini. Didn't matter. Cracked the screen. This thing has been crazy. Oh, I got some great news on, yeah, so yeah, he did give a really nice shout out. It was awesome. We got not a huge amount of traffic from it though, which I thought, I was kind of surprised about. I thought we would see a little bit more of a bump. So that shout out, I'm just looking right now. Yeah, I got about 500 views from it, which is fine. I'm more than happy to get the shout out. But I thought there would be a little bit more of a carryover. But it was good stuff. And my brother's having some trouble with his Starlink. His house got hit by lightning, and his Starlink went down. He can't get in touch with anybody at SpaceX. Like the customer service there is as bad as Tesla. I may talk about it actually with him once he gets back up. So I have a dish here that I've been keeping for like emergency situations if we ever lost internet for an extended period of time. And where I live, that's not unusual for that to happen. So I've been keeping a dish here, which I used when I reviewed it a little while back. But I sent the dish to him this morning, so we'll see if he can get back up and running with it. It's like the Tesla. When the car works, it's great. But like, he's down. Like he's down completely. He submitted a ticket a day and a half ago and has not heard back yet. And they may not have enough dishes to even send him, right? So it's crazy. Okay, so let's do this. 3, 2, 1. All right, our next test here is my daughter's iPad. This is my first grader's iPad. She's 6 years old. And this thing is pretty nasty looking. Actually, let me start this again because I hit the wrong... I hit the screen. There we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take a look now at my daughter's iPad. This is my youngest daughter's iPad. She's 6 years old. The screen has a protector on it, which of course is plastic, so it's got a lot of scratches on it, but it's pretty filthy. And let's take a look and see if we can get this screen spruced up a bit. We're not going to get rid of the scratches, of course, but I think we can make everything look a little better. So I will repeat our process of before, where we kind of wipe the dust off the screen. There's all sorts of crazy stuff caked on here. I'm not sure what it is. Probably food of some kind, I hope. And I'm going to spray down the screen here and give it a nice, pretty hard scrubbing, because there are some really good caked on things here. And let's take a look and see, after we give it a nice dry here, how it looks. And it's not going to look all that different, I think, on camera, but I think it's certainly a lot crisper and cleaner. It's just that we have all of these scratches that I think actually become more apparent now that we've cleaned the dirt off. But it did do a pretty good job here on the plastic. I'm going to watch this. This may not be a stunningly good demonstration because the screen is so lousy. Let me take a look. I may have to find some other screen. But if the starting point is pretty bad, I think we may have a good comparative. Let's take a look. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take a look now at my daughter's iPad. This is my youngest daughter's iPad. She's 6 years old. The screen has a protector on it, which of course is plastic, so it's got a lot of scratches on it, but it's pretty filthy. And let's take a look and see if we can get this screen spruced up a bit. We're not going to get rid of the scratches, of course, but I think we can make everything look a little better. So I will repeat our process of before, where we kind of wipe the dust off the screen. There's all sorts of crazy stuff caked on here. I'm not sure what it is. Probably food of some kind, I hope. And I'm going to spray down the screen here and give it a nice, pretty hard scrubbing, because there are some really good caked on things here. And let's take a look and see, after we give it a nice dry here, how it looks. And it's not going to look all that different, I think, on camera, but I think it's certainly a lot crisper and cleaner. It's just that we have all of these scratches that I think actually become more apparent now that we've cleaned the dirt off. But it did do a pretty good job here on the plastic. All right, so let's take a look here. I'm going to take this shot. Yeah, that one's probably, this is probably not going to be a good example. Because this screen is so scratched up. But I think if it actually shows more scratches, it might actually be interesting. Let's see. All right, so that's the before. Or, no, that's the after, I'm sorry. So that's the after. And this is, yeah. It doesn't look much different. I mean, it got the grease off, but the screen is so scratched up that I don't think that's a fair comparative. Yeah, I should do that. Are they dirty? Yeah, they're not too bad. You know, it would be awesome if this stuff would like retro bright. Could you imagine, like, if? Let's try it. I doubt it will. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. This could be like the next retro bright, if it. No, it cleaned it up a little bit, but did not get rid of the yellowing. It would have been awesome if it did that, right? So I do have another iPad, though, my regular iPad Pro, so this one might do okay. And I think I'll just wipe down the screen a little bit here. And I haven't cleaned this screen in a long time. But this doesn't look that bad, all things considered. You know what I'll do? Let me go get I'm going to get my wife's computer, which used to be mine, because that screen's never been cleaned. Yeah, that would be, I should probably start using those. That's so embarrassing. That would probably work. All right, hang on. Let me go get my wife's computer. I'll see what else I got upstairs. I got computers all over the place. Okay, I got some other laptops here. So we'll do the iPad. Yeah, we're going to skip the this whole thing with the, because it can't show a definitive before and after, so that just doesn't seem to work very well. My wife is canning today. So she and her mother, they're upstairs right now, canning pickles. All right, so this Mac is looking pretty nasty. So this one could use a good, this is my MacBook, my 12-inch MacBook. And let me see what this, I just want to find one more nasty one. And this is my wife's MacBook Air. This used to be my MacBook Air before I got the new one. Well, actually, my wife took this one before I got the new one. Oh yeah, look at this one. This is good. All right, let me go log into this one real quick. And then we'll do this one. And this keyboard is equally nasty. But I don't think we're going to have any progress like everyone's been saying. But it's got, you know what, we've got a lot of dirt on the metal. So we can definitely look at that. Let me switch to my user here. Ooh, there's all sorts of nasty stuff in here. My wife's computer looks worse than mine. What does that say? My wife's the neat freak in this relationship. Don't tell her I said that. All right, so let's do backdrop here. All right. And Jolt2 makes a very good point. You don't want to ever spray directly. That's right. Okay. So let's do a little pickup shot here. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's try another screen here. I've got another Mac, my 3, 2, 1. All right, let's try another screen here. I've got my wife's MacBook Air, and this one's looking really nasty here. And actually, we've got some dirt on the metal here that we can also see if it can get rid of. This looks like it's all caked on. So let's do the screen first. I think we know what's going to happen here because we had a good experience on the first run with a screen that looked very similar to this one. So you can see all the caked on junk here. She's got a lot more dirt like in between the cracks here as well, so that might require a little bit extra stuff. But same deal as before. We'll do 2 or 3 sprays and just start wiping it down. She does have some more caked on stuff here versus the other Mac, but looks like it's doing a pretty good job here of getting this stuff off. And then we'll do the wipe down here, and similar result. Yeah, what's nice is that when I do the second portion where you kind of wipe down with the dry portion of the cloth, it really does get rid of the streaking very quickly. You'll see a little bit of streaking when you first put it together. And if you got a lot of dirt on there, I think a second run like we did before really helps. But this is certainly looking a lot better. And I think another run like we did before I think will work pretty well. But let's take a look and see about this stuff on the metal here. And so I'll try to get this portion cleaned. Let me spray down a couple more times here. And again, you always want to spray the cloth, not the computer directly. And this is on the aluminum. And it looks like it came right off. So it looks pretty good. And this one, like my other one, has a pretty greasy set of keys. And as I'm doing this, I'm live streaming, and a lot of my viewers are saying that, you know, sometimes the keys get worn down a bit too. So even if you put a good cleaner on there, the plastic itself could be what's being worn down due to use. And both of us are always typing on our computers here, so it's entirely possible that that's what happened here. But it looks like it's able to get the stuff caked on the aluminum here off pretty nicely. So looks pretty good. All right. I'm not sure where this video is going to end up, but it appears that it's working pretty good. Hey, Modern Day Tech is here. Hello there. Yeah, we're cleaning today. This is autumn cleaning. It's a nice crisp autumn day here in the northeastern United States. All right, so when am I coming to clean your home? I don't know. What do you pay? To be honest with you, the way I clean, I'm an electronic hoarder. You don't want me cleaning your place. It'll look worse. And I think what I might do is finish up with a non-Mac maybe. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's try another screen here. I've got my wife's MacBook Air, and this one's looking really nasty here. And actually, we've got some dirt on the metal here that we can also see if it can get rid of. This looks like it's all caked on. So let's do the screen first. I think we know what's going to happen here because we had a good experience on the first run with a screen that looked very similar to this one. So you can see all the caked on junk here. She's got a lot more dirt like in between the cracks here as well. So that might require a little bit extra stuff. But same deal as before. We'll do 2 or 3 sprays and just start wiping it down. She does have some more caked on stuff here versus the other Mac, but looks like it's doing a pretty good job here of getting this stuff off. And then we'll do the wipe down here, and similar result. Yeah, what's nice is that when I do the second portion where you kind of wipe down with the dry portion of the cloth, it really does get rid of the streaking very quickly. You'll see a little bit of streaking when you first put it together. And if you got a lot of dirt on there, I think a second run like we did before really helps. But this is certainly looking a lot better. And I think another run like we did before I think will work pretty well. But let's take a look and see about this stuff on the metal here. And so I'll try to get this portion cleaned. Let me spray down more times here. And again, you always want to spray the cloth, not the computer directly. And this is on the aluminum. And it looks like it came right off. So it looks pretty good. And this one, like my other one, has a pretty greasy set of keys. And as I'm doing this, I'm live streaming, and a lot of my viewers are saying that, sometimes the keys get worn down a bit too. So even if you put a good cleaner on there, the plastic itself could be what's being worn down due to use. And both of us are always typing on our computers here, so it's entirely possible that that's what happened here. But it looks like it's able to get the stuff caked on the aluminum here off pretty nicely. So looks pretty good. All right, I mean, we can keep going through this, but I think it's clear that it's working very well. And I'm very pleased. It actually, the aluminum really looks good. It does really nicely. Let me just get this side a little bit better here. And I'll get this little spot here. Yeah, looks good. All right, so we ended on that, so I will, I think I'll just pick it up for continuity. Yes, exactly. Well, I guess that is kind of cleaning, isn't it? If I come to your place, I will find things that I want to keep. Exactly. I did get rid of 2 things today, so I'm so excited. I am beginning the process of getting I got to leave in 5 minutes, by the way, or 8 minutes. I'm beginning the process of getting all of my broadcast gear over to the schools because they were disrupted with COVID and everything. But we are making progress. So we're setting up the outdoor football live streaming thing with the high school tomorrow. That's going to be fun. And then this morning I got one of the elementary schools set up for their morning broadcast. So we switched them over to vMix with a virtual set. Looks awesome. So I got rid of a computer, getting rid of another computer tomorrow. These are ones that I had, Lenovo had donated to the channel to give to the schools. And then I got rid of my Starlink dish to send to my brother. So I'm doing pretty good today. But yeah, I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of it. Now, I keep a list of stuff that I'm going to review, but I often change the priority based on when things become available. So for example, I had a whole bunch of stuff planned for this week, but my MacBook Air M2 finally came in, so that kind of adjusts the scale. And then a lot of times I look at what available time that I have. So this week has been awful from a disruption standpoint, just because the kids are back in school and we're still adjusting to the schedule, and we have one kid that has to be in one place and another in, so until we get things settled down, I didn't have a lot of time to like really focus in on one particular thing. So so I do have some things that I was planning to do that I put off. So we'll get there. All right, so let's pick it up from here. 3, 2, 1. And it looks like the aluminum here got really clean. Even though those keys look a little greasy, all that stuff that was caked on both sides of the metal here very quickly got clean. So it will work really nicely across the trackpad and on the metal surfaces. And of course, this is not just limited to Macs. If you have computers with similar materials like glass and aluminum or other types of metals, I think this stuff is going to work pretty well. So my overall opinion of this, just kind of playing around with it for the few minutes that I have, is pretty good. This stuff really got my screen cleaned quicker and better than I've seen with some of the other screen cleaning things that I've been playing around with. So I am very comfortable, I think, recommending this. You don't need all that much for each cleaning. So this big bottle, I think, is going to last me for a while. I don't see any expiration date on it, so I don't think it's going to go bad on you. Maybe give it a little shake here every once in a while when you go ahead to use it in case things get separated, but it seems to be working pretty good. One thing I will see me having to do is washing the microfiber cloth. They do say you can put it in the washing machine. There are some restrictions about drying it, of course, and using fabric softener, but you will probably need to clean this cloth on occasion because you are transferring dirt from your computer to the cloth. So this will get gunked up, and you don't want to use this to spread dirt when you're trying to clean it off. So you may want to pick up a few extra microfiber cloths like this one if you intend to clean a lot of screens, especially if you're in a school or something where you've got a lot to work on here. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with this stuff. It seems to work as advertised. Doesn't require all that much elbow grease to get the stuff off, and I'm pretty happy with it. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm not sure how this video is going to work out. Once I edit it, I'll have a better feel for it. But yeah, so we're going to have, actually tonight, we have a Synology video. So I did a video about active backup. They had me do a series on, or we're doing a series on backup. So the first 2 videos are backing things up to the NAS, and the last video will be backing the NAS up to other places. So for this one, we're looking at their active backup for business, which will automatically back up your Windows PCs on the network. And it's a full system backup, but it's also incremental. And what I found, I hadn't really played with it too much until I started this project with them. And what's really cool about it is that if you're backing up, let's say, 5 PCs that are all on Windows 11 with the latest version, it doesn't duplicate the system files that are the same on each. So anytime there's a duplicate file, it doesn't copy it over, it just uses the copy that it has. So I did a backup of 2 different Windows 11 machines, and I forgot the number, but I think it was like 40 or 50 gigabytes was not duplicated, even though I had a full backup for both machines. You'll see that tonight. It'll be a fun video. Frank Cromer and Brooke are here on the Amazon chat. Frank says, I'm late to the party, but would I ever use this? Yes, so you can use this on TV screens. They say it's good for any screen. And I don't let my kids, so we have a rule in Daddy's TV den upstairs. The kids' stuff is all over the room except this. No one is to touch my television. So the TV doesn't get touched. So I don't have any fingerprints on the TV. So that at least is a good thing. So that works out pretty well. But I am going to go pick up my daughters, or I think I'm not picking them up. I think I am going to school to check them out, and then they go and play in the playground, and then my wife's going to come. There we go. Okay. So, and I'm not very confident about how they're going to resolve this problem because they used to email me. I kid you not. Like I sent in the thing with the chat, and I emailed them and I said, this is still, this is happening. And they said, oh my gosh, you found the bug, or to that effect. And then, what do you know? they were emailing me every like 2 or 3 days saying they're still working on it, they're still working on it. And then I got an email saying, we don't have an update for you, we'll let you know when we do. And then I haven't heard from them again. So it's, you can set your watch to it. It's pretty accurate. So any event. So I'm going to be back again because I've got a few other projects I'm working on. And the next live stream that I'm going to do is going to be setting up some of these Mevo cameras in a multi-camera configuration because I'm doing a series of tutorials for them. It's funny, around the fall, like some of these opportunities pop up, so I'm going to be doing a tutorial series on the Mevo multi-camera streaming system. So we're going to take them out of the box and get them all set up so I can figure out how it all works. So we'll go from there. But I will give you another, I'm going to answer Ryan's question here. Let's see here. So I like it. This stuff works. You know what's nice about it? Here's, I kind of mentioned this in the conclusion that I shot of the video a second ago, is that it didn't require a lot of effort to get the dirt off. Like it just comes off. So I'm pretty happy with this. And you see how much, like, I didn't have to use all that much to get the stuff out of it. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'll buy some more of this stuff when I need it. All right. Well, I'm going to go pick the kids up, and I'll be back. I'll probably do the Mevo thing tomorrow. Let's see what my schedule is looking like here. Yeah, I'll probably do the Mevo thing tomorrow. I got to get the computer set up for the football people, too, so maybe we'll do a twofer there. We'll figure it out. All right. I'm out of here. I will talk to you all very soon, and thanks for tuning in. And John Gruber likes it. Yeah, I guess if it's like Apple's go-to. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, it worked out nicely. It clean. My screen is definitely clean. And I'm sure there's other stuff that cleans as good as this does, but this seems to work. And hey, if it's good enough for Apple, right? So you know what's been good about this video though is that I think we were able to show that it's not perfect, especially on plastic keys. So that's going to be, I think, that'll make it an interesting review. All right, let me get out of here. I will see you all on the next stream, and thank you all for tuning in. BB Garnett wants to know, how do you keep all these devices under control on your network? That's a good question. I don't know. I just run around putting out fires all day. Is usually how it goes. I have a pretty good handle. The Unify system gives you a good overview of where things are and what they're doing, so that helps. But I will catch you all very soon. Bye-bye.